I'm continuing my reading. What I'm doing here is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I'm reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around just a little bit as I move along, especially when I get into the time of the kings. But right now I am still in Deuteronomy, and this is chapter 9. Other nations driven out of Canaan because of their wickedness. Moses rehearses the rebellions of Israel and tells how he mediated between them and the Lord. On 2 occasions he has gone without food and water for 40 days. Hear, O Israel! Thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven. A people great and tall, the children of the Anakims, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, Who can stand before the children of Anak? Understand therefore this day that the Lord thy God is he which goeth over before thee. As a consuming fire he shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out, and destroy them quickly, as the Lord hath said unto thee. Speak not thou in thine heart, after that the Lord thy God hath cast them out from before thee, saying, For my righteousness the Lord hath brought me in to possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations the Lord doth drive them out from before thee. Not for thy righteousness, or for the uprightness of thine heart, dost thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations. And the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee, and that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand therefore that the Lord thy God giveth thee not this land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. Now this is going back to it. We got to understand this. This is a very interesting dynamic. Abraham was told that his descendants would inherit the land. But he was also told that they couldn't inherit it yet because the people were not yet ripe in wickedness. God waited until the Canaanite people, the nations of Canaan, were so wicked that they had to be destroyed, that God could no longer allow them to exist. Same thing with Sodom and Gomorrah. The reason God destroyed them was because they were so evil that God could not allow them to exist anymore. He could not allow sending more of his spirit children to be born into that kind of wickedness. It was just too much. And Moses is here saying, look, the land was promised to you, not because you're good. It was promised to you because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were great men. This is their promise, not your promise. They were promised this. And God is allowing you to go in now to possess the land, not because you're righteous, but because he needs you to destroy these people, because these people are being too evil. He needs to wipe them out, and he's letting you do it so that you can take the land, and that way he can fulfill the promises that he made to your fathers. Kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. We're going to fulfill the promises made to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for their righteousness, and we're going to destroy the nations because of their wickedness. But Israel at the time, as he said, thou art a stiff-necked people. Israel was not. It was not their righteousness. They were not given this because they were righteous, because they were a rebellious people. They've been rebelling for 40 years. So Moses is setting them straight here. So don't think that this is free. Don't think this is because of you. Now, I have heard stories of the reason, one example of the evilness among the peoples of Canaan, was child sacrifice. And it wasn't just that they were sacrificing babies to pagan gods, but they were burning them alive. That's what later on can't remember if the phrase has been mentioned, but later on it will be mentioned, pass through the fire. You shall not cause your children to pass through the fire. This is what it's talking about. It's talking about burning babies alive. This was the level of evil that was going on, and God was saying, I need to put a stop to it, and this is how we're going to do it. Okay, verse 7. Remember and forget not how thou provokest the Lord thy God to wrath in the wilderness from the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt, until ye came unto this place. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord. Also in Horeb ye provoked the Lord to wrath, so that the Lord was angry with you to have destroyed you, when I was gone up into the mount to receive the tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant, which the Lord made with you. Then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. And the Lord delivered unto me 2 tables of stone written with the finger of God, and on them was written, according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days and 40 nights that the Lord gave me the 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, get thee down quickly from thence, for thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt, have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image. Furthermore, the Lord spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under heaven. And I will make for thee a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mount. And the mount burned with fire, and the 2 tables of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, ye had sinned against the Lord your God, and had made you a molten calf. Ye had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Lord had commanded you. And I took the 2 tables, and cast them out of my 2 hands, and brake them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Lord as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all your sins which ye sinned in doing wickedness in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure wherewith the Lord was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. And I took your sin, the calf which ye had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was as small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook that descended out of the mount. So this is rehearsing the episode on Mount Sinai. I don't think there's any really new information here, except that Moses did fast 40 days twice. Once when he first went up to get the tables, and then after he came down and he broke the tables, and he went back and he fasted for another 40 days in order to pray for Israel, to preserve them. So there is a little bit of new information there, but it's just rehearsing or reviewing what happened before. So verse 22. And at Taberah, and at Massa, and at Kibroth Hataava, ye provoked the Lord to wrath. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you, then ye rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and ye believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice. Ye have been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. Thus I fell down before the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Lord had said he would destroy you. I prayed therefore unto the Lord, and said, O Lord God, destroy not thy people, and thine inheritance which thou hast redeemed, through thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin, lest the land whence thou broughtest us out say, because the Lord was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he hath brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet they are thy people, and thine inheritance which thou broughtest out by thy mighty power, and by thy stretched out arm. So Moses is saying, remember all your rebellions in the wilderness. Don't think that you are here, that you are coming into Canaan because you are a good, righteous people. On 2 different occasions, God wanted to just wipe you out and start over, pick a new people. And I prayed, I fasted 40 days on both occasions. I did get that wrong previously. He fasted 40 days at the golden calf episode to preserve Israel. And he fasted 40 days again at Kadesh Barnea, again, to preserve Israel. Now, the way it is worded, it does kind of sound like he did it 3 times. The chapter heading mentions only twice. But it does seem to me that he did it 3 times. He did it once, went up, got the law, came down. He had to chastise Israel. He broke the tables, did all that stuff. Then he went back up, fasted another 40 days to preserve Israel. And then several years later, it was like 2 or 3 years later, they're at Kadesh Barnea. They send the spies in, and they all rebel and say they're not going to go in and possess the land. And so God says, fine, I'll destroy them all again. And Moses has to go and fast another 40 days in order to preserve Israel a second time. And so he's rehearsing this to point out, to show them, you have been rebellious over and over and over. You do not like following God. So don't think that you are getting this land because you are righteous, because you're not. But anyways, we will leave that here, and I will see you in the next one.